All right, you maggots, listen up. What you're looking at is one of the biggest mistakes I ever made in my life. Uh, you see two terminals. The bottom terminal has two terminals. The top has four. The top four go to um, a multi-turn AM loop, 5 foot diameter. The outside two terminals. The two inner terminals go to a pickup loop. And down below they mix, and there's a varactor diode down in there, and at the other end of the shielded wire there was a box that had a 0 to 9 volts, and you turn the control and you could actually change the frequency of the 5 foot box antenna, which was PVC pipe that was in another room. And I used it for several months. And I turned the loop, I picked the loop up physically and turn it in a different direction. And then I would use it with my R71A. And then at some point, I drew it all up. I explained how it worked. I put it as a web page on my website. It's not there anymore. I'm going to break it to you. So it sits there, and right away you get all these experts. That can't work. And they write me these long letters why it can't work. And while I was building this, I had another guy tell me it can't possibly work. Well, the voltage comes up through a shielded wire. It goes in there to a varactor diode, and the varactor diode is coupled across the big loop using 0.1 capacitors. And the DC voltage goes up the shielded wire, turns the varactor diode, makes it change capacitance. It tunes the thing, and then the signal comes back down on the same wire. Now, I can't think of the name of the company, but there was a company that made this magnetic or power antenna, and it was a kit. And it had just a shielded piece of wire, and you ran it to the other side of your house where there was no noise, and it had a ferrite rod, and you could tune the knob, and that's basically what I built with less parts and made it simpler. And after I got it all built and work, and I realized they did make a kit, and if you start reading about it, people couldn't get the kit to work because they don't know what they're doing. So I did all these drawings, and I was kind of proud of myself that this is a project besides my CNC machines that I was selling plans for. So you figure they see all these plans for these machines and the driver board and all the stuff I've done and think, oh look, this guy just did this remotely tuned AM loop antenna instead of using a ferrite rod. And I made it much simpler. It worked on a 9-volt battery instead of a power supply. And I started getting ham guys. Well, I want you to tell me how to make it work on 40 meters. And I said to him, it won't work with a transmitter. Why won't it work with a transmitter? And I tell them basically that varactor diode's good for about 20 volts. Well, there should be a way around that. See, a stupid person creates stupidity. And stupid is as stupid does. And that's why I'm doing this rant. I want to let you guys know that I've been there, done that. I sold plans for 20 years on how to build CNC machines. And my whole thing right from the beginning was I used hardware store parts and surplus plastic PVC to work on. And I was doing what nobody else was doing. And I kept getting people telling me it won't work. Right? They were all wrong, and it wasn't worth it. Okay, I put thousands and thousands of dollars into the R&D of it. My retirement money to help people that didn't give a rat's ass if I had a heart attack and died the next day. That's what I learned. But I just want to show you, I keep this as a keepsake. And on there is you can see the two capacitors, and there's some resistors there. And the voltage comes up through the bottom terminal. One side shielded, the other side's the hot. And also, I'll tell you, down on some of those wires, there's ferrite beads. And the ferrite bead, it keeps the noise that gets in on the wire from the radio up into this controller. It takes that noise out. The ferrite bead takes the noise out before it goes to the control voltage of the varactor diode. There's also another ferrite rod that silences another problem. I won't get into the thing because I don't want somebody copying this and then saying it was their idea. But this is based loosely on another project that's out there. It was a kit, and it didn't work that well. People couldn't get it working. But you can send a voltage up a wire, a shielded wire, tune it a varactor diode, which is across a large coil, and it's done with capacitors. You're not putting the coil directly across the varactor diode. And that's what they couldn't understand. I tried that, it didn't work. And I had the diagram there. I had a pictorial there, and the fatheads couldn't do it. And you know what? I learned don't argue with stupid people because it makes you look stupid. But I just wanted to show you, this is a keepsake, and every once in a while I'll be going through my stuff and I see this thing. And I had pictures of the giant loop. It was a 5-foot loop made out of PVC. The loop itself had feet on the bottom built into it. It was 3-4 months worth of work. This board here was a month's worth of work, figuring out how to capacitively couple the varactor to the main loop without letting the DC voltage be in the loop. And then there was a pickup loop that wasn't it's a continuous loop. It'll short everything out. And in the drawing, I actually showed where the one side of the pickup loop, the ground it terminated. It didn't go anywhere, the outer shield. And you can also take the loop, and in the middle of it, you can cut the shielding off. There's ways to, but these were experts. It can't work. I learned my lesson, and that was the first moment I said, let me start taking the stuff down from the website, because all I'm getting is people that don't want to buy the plans. They just want me to tell stuff for free, and then they badmouth me on the internet if I won't tell them something for free, if I won't give them a free set of plans. So I squashed all that by just pulling it all down. And then YouTube came along. I said, you know what? Let me go a different direction. It's just to stay busy. People think I'm going to monetize at some point. Now, I get a jealous person almost once a week, and I have to delete what they do in the middle of the night. They always come in the middle of the night. And in the morning, I sit down, eat my breakfast, and I see someone's left me a nasty message. You think you're really smart. Yeah, once a week, I get that. And I reopened the comments because what I do is you can blot them out. What happens is they can leave a message to me, and they can see the message, but I can't see it, and neither can the other people that use my YouTube channel. You basically mute them out, and that's what I learned how to do. There are people in the world that are just miserable, and some of them are sort of your friends. One of the saying is, your friends want you to do okay, but not better than them. And I was having that problem. I was getting calls from people that wanted me to stop what I was doing and build what they wanted built. I used to get emails like that all the time. Long emails with all kinds of credentials telling me what I was doing doesn't work. And then I would refer them to one of the pictures of a finished machine, or to one of the YouTube videos of a guy who finished my machine and was actually cutting parts out with it. That's what I was doing. But life is a lot harder than you think it is, and people are a lot meaner than you think they are. And when they think they can get away with it, they're really rotten people. That's why you'll come out and find your car cut up. I bought a brand new car at work, and I thought that the landscapers had hit it with it was somebody, and somebody came out and told me that so-and-so keyed your car up. He got jealous that I bought a new car. But that's what you have out there. And these are the things I had happen to me. I was always trying to be nice to people. It doesn't work. You have to have a really thick skin, and you got a really low, you have no self-esteem at all to put up with what other people can do to you. That's how it is. So I just wanted to show you my keepsake. And for someone that's looking at that going, oh, okay, a varactor, some resistors, a couple capacitors, and some ferrite beads. And you can actually send voltage up a wire, a shielded wire, control the varactor, tune the coil, the signal comes back down from the pickup loop, down to it's slick, man. I spent a month just on that board there, making it simpler and simpler, figuring out where to put the ferric beads so they would keep the noise from the wire that goes from the radio to the antenna from getting up into the system there. And because once it's up in the antenna, the noise that traveled on the wire can actually modulate the antenna, and then it comes back down on the same wire. It's really cool. You can use a shielded wire, which has a hot in the middle, and you can send the voltage up, and you can bring a signal down. It's used on satellite dishes. It's used on, I would say, the different antennas. They have an amplified antenna. It's just a shielded wire with a hot, and the voltage goes up, turns the amplifier on, and allows the signal to come back down on the same wire. And it's capacitively coupled with a capacitor. And at the bottom, the box that controls everything, your signal comes off through a capacitor. I'll give you that much. And there might be an inductor involved. It's a known system. All I did was adapt it to a large 5-foot box loop. Back when I was trying to make the R71A pick up AM broadcast stations that are far away really well. It's an ICOM R71A. It's terrible. The AM, you pay, that radio was $1,000, and the AM broadcast is pathetic on it. You can put a 5-foot box loop on it, and it picks up as good as a DX390. That's about all you get out of it. I think that's it. That's it. And this is Rant 1000. All right, that's it.